Hello everyone, this is Lisa Andrus, Psychic Medium, and this is your weekly reading for November 17th to 23rd. And as you can see, this week I've got two different decks that I've used. The main piece of the reading is Daily Guidance from Your Angels Oracle Cards by Doreen Virtue, and we actually have one bonus card from the Life Purpose Oracle Cards by Doreen Virtue as well. I use her decks a lot in my readings because not only do I resonate with them, I feel like they're pretty easy to read, especially when I'm doing a general reading for several people that are listening to this. Okay? If you're just starting, I've said this before, I will say it again, and I do believe that Doreen Virtue also says this herself. A great starter deck is the one that I am focusing on right now. Daily Guidance from Your Angels Oracle Cards, and that's because they're pretty easy to read. There's a message right on the front of the card, as you'll see. So with that, let's go forward to what's happening this week. This is your Monday, Tuesday card, and the card is Heart Chakra, and it says, love is the heart of the matter. Your heart is the center within your physical being attuned most to love. It's safe for you to love and be loved with an open heart, as we stand by with perfect protection and guidance. I'm glad to see that this card actually came up because I feel like the readings lately have been lacking romance, especially for those of you that want romance in your life, whether it's in an existing relationship or whether it's with a new relationship. They're focusing on the heart chakra being kind of a stepping stone to that. And what that means is you have to open your heart to love. And if you don't know how to do that or thought you were doing that, ask your angels for help. As humans, we have free will, and our angels can only help if we ask. And if you want a sign as to finding your new romance or your new soulmate, ask your angels to help you see clear signs that you can easily interpret, okay? And then they're saying, don't focus on it too hard after you ask. Just trust that the synchronicities align and trust that you will know exactly what to do. They are saying to me also, get your house in order. So that means put the home together that you would want to welcome romance into. If you've had heartbreak in your past, whether it's with a previous romance, it could go all the way back to childhood, and some heartbreak you've had at either the loss of a parent in childhood, a pet, or it could be some sort of childhood abuse that really broke your heart, or neglect. If you feel like you keep getting the wrong relationships or you've just been alone for far too long, this is your sign that it's your heart chakra that needs some help. And if you aren't comfortable with or don't know how to ask your angels for help, first they want to say there's no wrong way. You can either ask aloud or you can ask in your mind, but they can't help unless you ask. And if you're not comfortable with doing that, then say a prayer and just know that all your dreams are coming true. They want me to tell you the number 5 as far as timeline if you're wondering when. So that could be 5 days, 5 weeks, 5 months, or maybe even 5 years. But I really get a hit on days and months. So wow, for some of you, that might be 5 days, and that's kind of exciting if it's something you've been waiting for. Okay, so now let's go to our middle of the week card. And that is Life Purpose. And it says, the purpose of your life is to serve in a way that brings great joy to yourself and others. Don't worry about finding your purpose. Instead, focus upon serving a purpose, and then your purpose will serve you. Now, first they want me to say that your life purpose is multifaceted. I am a medium, also a psychic, an author, a singer, a manager at work, and many other things. And in saying that, you get the gist. And they want you to know that your life purpose is multifaceted. So if you've been asking that big, profound question as to what is my life purpose, part of your life purpose is just in listening to this right now and to being here on earth right now and to helping others. And sometimes you help others in your very presence. Now, that's not meant to frustrate you, but rather to tell you you're doing the right thing at the right moment and you haven't made any wrong choices. You know, we are here on earth to help others, and you have volunteered for this great mission to come to earth, and we, your angels, thank you for that. You have no idea the difference that you have made in just being here as part of your life purpose. We know that life is heavy right now, and it will clear soon. Life ebbs and flows, and the best thing that you can try to do is just go with the flow or roll with the punches or whatever it is that you say. But your life purpose really is in finding whatever brings you joy. And if it's not overt joy, it's whatever makes you happy. So, for example, if you are in a job, a relationship, or another situation that you don't feel good about, even if something doesn't quite feel right, or if you're just downright miserable, that's a great sign that it's probably not a part of your life purpose anymore. Maybe it was once and it no longer is. Now, they're wanting me to say, I did an event yesterday where I did reading after reading, a psychic fair or an expo. And in that, I had an assistant with me that was a student. And so we were kind of talking about the readings and some of the things that happen in the readings. And one thing I told her is that the readings often have a theme. I'll do reading after reading, and somehow they'll all, or several of them, will have something in common. So yesterday, the big theme was people that were wondering what was happening with their career. And many of them were in a job that they no longer felt fulfilled in, even if it had been something that had filled them up in ways in the past. They've been a rock star at and excelled in many ways, and it no longer nourishes them or their soul. But for whatever reason, they're not ready to make the jump to whatever that career dream is. And the resounding answer that came up would be just to find a similar company, even if you've been at the company that you've been at for a long time. And one of the things that came up was the example of me, which is I did just exactly that, which is I had a company that I'd previously worked at in corporate America, and I had left there probably about 4 years ago. I moved to Boston. I came back. I ended up working at another company. And then one day I just realized if I was going to stay in corporate America for a while, because I'm not ready to leave yet, I wanted to be at the company that I had previously worked for, that I had tenure at, and really realized that was probably a better fit for me in not only where it was located, but several other things. But I didn't know how that was going to happen. And I also felt kind of, like guilty at the thought of leaving the people that I worked with that I really liked and leaving them at a busy time of year, et cetera, et cetera. So I ended up getting an interview at this other company, and I didn't know if it would work. But I thought, you know what, Lisa? Even if they offer you the position, you can always say no. I didn't think I'd get the pay and all the benefits and everything that I wanted, and it ended up turning out better than I expected, not worse. And things like that happen, I think, to me so I can repeat them to you. Not only so I can be happy, but I can repeat them to you in this reading so you can know that sometimes, even when you can't imagine that things would work out for your greatest and highest good, they do. But you have to co-create with the universe, and you have to take one step into maybe polishing your resume. Even if you don't like the thought of doing that, you have to co-create with the universe in order for your dreams to come true. But your life purpose is in doing that thing that you think is impossible and co-creating with the universe and taking baby steps and realizing it doesn't all happen overnight. They are just showing me a picture of what I believe is a red carpet rolling out. And a red carpet to me says that for some of you, when you take that step in co-creating with the universe towards either starting that side business or doing whatever it is that your dream is, it could bring you some sort of celebrity, whether it's a small celebrity within the industry that you're in or maybe public recognition of some sort, just from doing what makes you happy. But again, they're saying you have to co-create. Wow. Okay, so let's see what the weekend has in store for us. And the card is ask. And it says, ask us to help you in this situation, and we will immediately go to work on your behalf. We're governed by many universal laws, and among them is the free will that allows you to make your own choices and decisions. So we patiently await your request. Now, didn't I say that earlier, that they have to pay attention to our free will? And if we don't want help or don't ask for help, they can't help us. So this is a confirmation that the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but always, all we have to do is ask for help and trust that it will be answered. And if we don't feel like we know how it'll be answered, to let go and let God, and to also ask for clear signs that we can easily translate, which is a nice confirmation of the message from earlier in the week. Now, we also have this lovely bonus card from the Life Purpose Oracle deck. So let's see what that is. It is Speaker. And it says your life purpose involves your skills of oration. I feel like this is a message for anyone that is getting a little chill or the hair standing up on the back of their neck, if you will. But really for the spiritual teachers among us, present company included, to get that out there and find an audience. You know, I've said this before and I will say it again. This is not a structured business. This is a going as you're guided, and they're asking me to give you an example. Yesterday, I went and did a expo, or a psychic fair, as some of you may know what it means when I say that, which is an event where you can basically buy a booth, and there are many different vendors there, and I put out my little sign or shingle, if you will, and I do readings for people. I offer a nice little discounted rate for a mini reading to help people, and at the same time to advertise some of my services. Yesterday, I had an opportunity to do one locally that I do many times, but I felt like I needed to do one that was probably about 150 miles away. So here I am getting in my car, knowing that I'm going to drive back into snow, which I don't really enjoy, thinking to myself on the way there, I have no idea why I'm doing this, you know, and having all the human emotions, like, are you nuts? You could have stayed home, and, you know, all of the good things that go along with maybe a nice little commute as opposed to a longer one. But then I got there and I met some of the neatest people. I live in near Minneapolis, Minnesota, and this was in Duluth, which is another city in Minnesota, but it's in the northern part of Minnesota. And so I want to thank each and every one of you that came to see me from Duluth, especially you, Edie. Edie is somebody that I met last year when I was there, and she walked up to me yesterday and she said, I don't know if you remember me. And I said, of course I remember you, Edie. She has the best energy. And it's funny because I don't remember a lot of people. I see a lot of them, and I don't mean that to remember them, but sometimes I'm channeling the messages. But I love that I was able to meet just a couple of really awesome people in Duluth, and she is one of them. And the energies that I connected with there, let me just say, then I knew exactly why I went. But they want to get back to the example, which was, it's not black and white. You have to go as you're guided. I had no idea why I was signing up for that it was so far away. And so they're saying that use that as an example, that you've got to get out there and speak and find your audience. And even if you don't know if people are going to show up, if you literally, think of pulling up the soapbox and getting out your microphone, and you're here to help other people, you don't have to have exact steps. You have to trust the guidance. And as we and they have been saying, when I say we, when they say as we, they want to say that means the angels are literally speaking through me, okay? So this is a powerful message. That means that they will give you clearly guided signs, and you, the spiritual teachers, have the capacity to absorb them more than others. So just trust. If you keep having the thought popping into your head of, For instance, this Duluth Expo that I did, and it just keeps popping in. They want me to give you another example of a couple other of my peers that had been thinking of going to an LA expo out there, and one didn't want to go alone, so he asked another one, and now they're going together to kind of share some of the costs and to support each other. They don't know why they felt guided to do that, but they're taking the leap of faith and getting out there, and who knows, they may connect with an entirely different new audience that is just like I talked about with the people that I connected with yesterday. You don't know who you're going to meet and who you're going to get through to, but it's your job to get out there and do the work. It's time for you to stop taking classes. It's time for you to get out there, start to do readings, start charging for the readings. Okay? Somebody yesterday that I spoke to was saying she was afraid to start charging for readings. And one great book that I would highly recommend is the Angel Therapy Handbook by Doreen Virtue, because it kind of talks about some of those fears and how to get over them with charging for giving readings. So this is for those of you that speak or communicate for a living, especially you spiritual teachers. It's time to get out there, do the work, and to know that wherever you're guided to go, even if it's somewhere nuts, that it's a sign that you're supposed to go there for some reason. And don't be afraid. You'll never know who you'll meet, who you'll connect with, and who you'll help. Okay? I want to say thank you again for tuning in with me every week. I love each and every one of you. Have a wonderful week, and I'll speak to you again next week.